Welcome back to The Current, the quick response news program from Jockey Club TE College,
where we report on the latest issues, events, and culture. I'm Edward.
And I'm Selena. Quick, close the curtains, block the doors, put boards on the windows.
What?
They're coming! We're being invaded!
What are you talking about?
We're being invaded! They're taking over! Hurry!
By who?
Massive vines that blanket the southern United States, climbing as high as 100 feet as they uproot trees and swallow buildings. A ravenous snake that is capable of devouring an alligator. Rabbit populations that eat themselves into starvation. These aren't horror movie concepts, they're real stories. But how could such situations exist in nature? All three are examples of invasive species. Organisms harmful not because of what they are, but where they happen to be. The kudzu vine, for example, had grown quietly in its native East Asia, eaten by various insects and dying off during the cold winters. But its fortunes changed when it was imported into the southeastern United States for porch decoration and cattle feed. Its planting was even subsidized by the government to fight soil erosion. With sunny fields, a mild climate, and no natural predators in its new home, the vine grew uncontrollably until it became known as the plant that ate the South. Meanwhile, in Florida's Everglades, Burmese pythons, thought to have been released by pet owners, are the cause of decreasing populations of organisms. They're successfully outcompeting top predators, such as the alligator and panther, causing a significant reduction in their food sources. They're not a problem in their native Asia because diseases, parasites, and predators help to control their population size. And in Australia, European rabbits eat so many plants that they wipe out the food supply for themselves and other herbivores. They're a pretty recent addition, intentionally introduced to the continent because one man enjoyed hunting them. Like the Burmese pythons, various factors in their native habitat keep their numbers in control. But in Australia, the lack of predators and a climate perfect for year-long reproduction allows their populations to skyrocket. So why does this keep happening? Most of the world's ecosystems are the result of millennia of co-evolution by organisms, adapting to their environment and each other until a stable balance is reached. Healthy ecosystems maintain this balance via limiting factors, environmental conditions that restrict the size or range of a species. These include things like natural geography and climate, food availability, and the presence or absence of predators. For example, plant growth depends on levels of sunlight and soil nutrients. The amount of edible plants affects the population of herbivores, which in turn impacts the carnivores that feed on them. And a healthy predator population keeps the herbivores from becoming too numerous and devouring all the plants. But even minor changes in one factor can upset this balance, and the sudden introduction of non-native organisms can be a pretty major change. A species that is evolved in a separate habitat will be susceptible to different limiting factors, different predators, different energy sources, and different climates. If the new habitat's limiting factors fail to restrict the species' growth, it will continue to multiply, outcompeting native organisms for resources and disrupting the entire ecosystem. Species are sometimes introduced into new habitats through natural factors like storms, ocean currents, or climate shifts. The majority of invasive species, though, are introduced by humans. Often this happens unintentionally, as when the zebra mussel was accidentally brought to Lake Erie by cargo ships. But as people migrate around the world, we have also deliberately brought our plants and animals along, rarely considering the consequences. But now that we're learning more about the effects of invasive species on ecosystems, many governments closely monitor the transport of plants and animals and ban the imports of certain organisms. But could the species with the most drastic environmental impact be a group of primates who emerged from Africa to cover most of the world? Are we an invasive species?
You're freaking out because there are plants and animals coming into Hong Kong that are native?
Yes, they're aliens, and they're pushing out and killing our local Hong Kong species.
Oh, this is actually totally connected to our last episode about the loss of biodiversity and species extinction. Because one of the main causes of extinction is invasive species.
Exactly. This is happening all around the world. Local environments are being invaded.
But which species are invading Hong Kong? Do you know?
There are a ton of alien species. Because of a lack of precaution, almost 1/3 of the 3,000 species of plants in Hong Kong are alien.
One of the most serious invasive plant species is Micania, or the mile-a-minute plant. It came from America and is totally overwhelming wooded areas. It forms thick canopies over native vegetation, preventing photosynthesis.
The AFCD generally has Micania under control in the parks, but it still grows like crazy in disturbed areas.
A threatening invasive fish is the Sabar giant grouper, which is a carnivorous and hybrid fish created in the lab that has escaped and is now breeding in Hong Kong waters. Environmentalists believe this species could spell disaster for the local marine ecosystem.
Other alien species in Hong Kong are totally preventable, but extremely common because they were once pets.
Exactly. People go to pet stores and buy snakes, lizards, turtles, fish, and even birds that are not native to Hong Kong. And when they get bored of them, or think they would be happier when they have been set free, just let them go.
That's very bad. First, the released pets most likely die because people almost always release them in the wrong habitat.
Then, if they don't die, they have a terrible impact on the environment.
Sadly, dead released pets are frequent sights in local streams and waterways in particular. They just don't survive. It is said that 75% of all released pet birds die basically right away. Then there is a very well-intentioned tradition called mercy releases or Fang Sheng, which happens when Buddhists purchase animals, most commonly fish, and set them free so they won't be killed.
This is a big tradition on the holiday celebrating Buddha's birthday, which was just a couple weeks ago, meaning this just happened. It is very honorable to save life, but if it means releasing species that are alien and not native, it can have a terrible impact on the ecosystem.
Exactly. We should never release any pets or animals into the wild if they are not native to the area. Never, never ever.
Let's see if students know anything about the invasive species and releasing pets into the environment.
Do you guys know there are aliens invading Hong Kong?
No.
What do you mean by aliens?
Which means there are animals that are not from Hong Kong and are coming into Hong Kong. So what pets do you have?
I have insects.
What kind of insects do you have?
Ants, spiders, snails, beetles.
I got a hamster. I have some goldfish.
I have a rabbit and a turtle.
What do you have?
I have geckos.
I have parrots.
I have turtles.
What would you do if your pet got too big and you had to get rid of it? Or you just got bored with it?
I will bury it.
Alive?
No, I will sell it back to the pet stores.
No, you can't sell it to the pet store. You should sell it to others.
What if nobody wants to buy it?
I just kill it.
I'll give my hamster to my family. I'll kill the fish and then cook it to eat it.
I will give it to my family
Why won't you set it free?
because it will die outside.
I will set my turtles free.
Do you think your turtle would survive?
Yes.
I will give my parrots to my friends.
I will sell my geckos.
Do you think your pets would survive outside?
Absolutely.
No, I don't think my hamster will survive.
No, and I don't think my goldfish will survive because there won't be any people to feed it.
I don't think my turtle and my rabbit will survive because they have been fed by me for a long time.
Do you think they can learn to eat outside?
No, they wouldn't learn how to find food.
Do you think your animals will survive outside?
I think no, because they can't find any food outside. in the city.
What if they're in the county park?
I think they don't know how to find food.
No, definitely not.
Have you heard about Buddhists setting animals free?
Yes, I have heard about it. I think it will absolutely destroy Hong Kong's environment.
Why?
Because there are many species that are not found in Hong Kong and they will harm the local animals.
It's good because the fish can get free.
I think it's not good because they can't find the food.
I don't even know there's something like that.
Wait, what's that? I don't know what it is either.
Yes, I have heard it, but it is a bad thing for the food chain.
What should we do to stop people from setting animals free?
I think people should think about it before they get a pet. I think governments should set some laws and make some punishment for people who are setting animals free.
What kind of punishment should there be?
Like going into jail or payments.
Jail for setting a bird free?
Yes, of course, it's life.
Maybe we need to teach them about it.
That's right. The solution is quite simple. Education.
Yep. Once people know that they shouldn't release non-native species, they should change their behavior and stop the invasion.
Let's just hope that they still don't care even after hearing our warnings.
No, and I don't care.
Well, that concludes the second year of the current.
We had a great time stepping up our level of production this year and covering such topics as smuggling, twins, YouTubers,
Marijuana, recently passed legends, wild boars,
holograms, trade war, regeneration,
eating bugs, species extinction,
and this episode on invaders.
Thank you for watching and
See you next year.